Hello, everyone, and welcome to the New Student Athletes Town Hall webinar. My name is Jillian McVeigh, and I am one of the program coordinators in the Office of New Student Programs here at Bentley. And I'm joined today with some of my colleagues from the athletic department. And I just wanted to thank you all for taking some time out of your Monday evening to join us tonight. Our goal tonight is to share with you some insight and some information regarding the new student athlete experience here at Bentley, as well as really focus on getting all your questions answered. We'll walk through a brief presentation, and then we'll have an opportunity for a live Q&A at the end of the session. So if you notice, there's a Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. Go ahead and utilize that anytime throughout the presentation to type in any questions that you may have, and there'll be time at the end for us to go ahead and answer those as best as we can. I also wanted to let everyone know that today's session will be recorded so that you can view it at a later date and time. The recording will be available via our YouTube channel, which you can access through our website, bentley.edu/orientation, or you can just go ahead and search Bentley Orientation right on YouTube and you should be able to find it. And for those of you who are watching the pre-recorded webinar, please feel free to direct any questions that you have to the email addresses that will be listed at the end of this presentation. Or you can always reach out to orientation@bentley.edu with any questions that you have, and we'll direct them for you. So thank you again. We're going to get started with some introductions. I actually have another member of the new student programs team here with me, one of our student coordinators. I will go ahead and turn it over to Rachel, and she can introduce herself.
Hi everyone, like Jill said, my name is Rachel. I'm an incoming junior here at Bentley and one of the orientation student coordinators working to help build the orientation program that you guys will all be a part of in the fall. Just a disclaimer that I am not a student athlete, but I will be here to answer any questions that you may have related to student experience that I can help with. So I'm really excited to be here tonight.
Awesome, thank you, Rachel. And like she said, if you have any questions regarding the student experience, I'm just happy to speak to those at the end as well. So now I'll turn it over to our athletic department staff to go ahead and introduce themselves, and we can go get started with the content of tonight's new student athletes session.
Thank you, Jillian. Thank you, Rachel. Good evening, everybody. It's great to be with you tonight, and thank you for a little bit of your time as the summer has just started. And I know classes are probably over at your high schools, class of 2025, I believe it is. And we're excited to have you on campus this fall, no doubt. And a lot of great things happening at Bentley University and obviously in Falcon Athletics. And we have some staff with us here that I want them to introduce themselves. My name is Vaughn Williams, Director of Athletics. Been at Bentley for 8-9 months now. And let me tell you, this is a special, special place. And we're gonna make those 4 years or 5 years special for you as well. So I'll start off with Courtney Finn.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Courtney Finn, Associate Athletic Director, Senior Women's Administrator. Some of the areas I oversee in this department include financial operations, financial aid, student athlete development. I'm the advisor for SAC, which is our Student Athlete Advisory Committee. And the sports that I directly oversee are women's basketball, women's soccer, volleyball, and men and women's tennis. I'm looking forward to being with you all tonight and helping answer any questions that you might have.
Okay, next, I'll pass over to Kevin Loftus.
Good evening, Kevin Loftus, and the Associate Athletic Director in charge of athletic communications. I've been at Bentley for 27 years. I'm also an assistant baseball coach for 27 years now, and I oversee men's basketball, field hockey, track, and golf. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Great, thanks, Kevin. Next, I'll pass it over to Marty McCarthy.
Thank you, Vaughn. Good evening. My name is Marty McCarthy. I'm the Assistant Director of Athletics here at Bentley University in charge of operations. I also handle event staff, event management for our varsity and club sports. We've also transitioned club sports under athletics, so I'm now overseeing our 12 club teams, as well as our recreation intramurals that we run here at Bentley University. I've also been here for 25 years, and that includes undergrad. So excited to see you all on campus, and welcome to Falcon Nation.
Great, thanks, Marty. Next, Katie Nunes.
Thanks, Juan. Hi, everyone. My name is Katie Nunes. I'm the NCAA Compliance Coordinator and Student Athlete Development Coordinator. I'm a double Bentley grad, completed my undergrad and my graduate degree here. I played softball for 4 years as well, so I'm a former student athlete. I've been working in the athletic department for about 5 years while I was a student, and I just recently became a full-time position this past fall, so pretty new to the family, but I'm excited to be here and excited to answer all your questions tonight.
And last but certainly not least, somebody that everybody's going to get to know one way or another, Brooks Ferry.
Thanks, Vaughn. My name's Brooks Ferry. I'm the head athletic trainer here at Bentley University. I've been here 30 years. This will be the start of my 31st year. So I guess I might be the senior member of this group, and I'd like to welcome you here today. My main responsibilities and teams that I work closely with are football, men's basketball, and baseball, but I am also involved in pretty much all of the medical aspects of all the sports here at the university.
Great, thanks, Brooks. And once again, we want to thank you for being here. I think it's important to how would you say, introduce you to the village, some of the village that will be here during your time here in your journey as a student athlete at Bentley. We're excited to serve you. That's something that we always talk about, serving the student athlete and making sure your experience, not only in athletics, but across campus and all the things. You know, we have a special student athlete. You're part of a special group that comes to Bentley. No one does it better in the classroom than us. No one does it better after school than us. And we're trying to make sure that no one does it better on the field of play than us. And so great things are happening. We do have a new president, started three weeks ago, and I know you're going to enjoy him. He's an engaging type of president. He's going to be one that you're going to get to know, and so on and so forth. So a lot of great things. I obviously oversee athletics, entire department, but certain sports, and I work with all the sports, but certain sports that direct reportedly to me, obviously, is football, men's ice hockey, have softball as well. And, you know, those are sports that I oversee right now. So that being said, we want to make sure that we get to the program. We don't want to keep you too long. There will be a student athlete orientation where you'll get to meet everybody in the department in early September. We'll be sending that dates out, and we'll start the year off as a family, one family, and getting you ready for the upcoming year. And I know it's been a hard year. It's been a hard year for us. I know it's been a hard year for you. Hopefully, God willingly, the pandemic is slowly behind us and we can get to the business. But I'm sure that you've learned how to deal with something that no other student athletes have had to deal with. And you should be proud of that, and proud that you're going to be wearing, I would say, the blue and black here shortly. So that being said, let's start with the program. Hold on just for a second now. We'll start off with Brooks Ferry. He'll take us through sports medicine, some things you need to know.
All right, Vaughn, thank you. And again, welcome everyone. As you can see from the slide here in front of us, the 4 things that I want to try to hit on and talk about, and hopefully answer any questions that you may have when we're done with everything. First thing being that the school has mandated that all incoming freshmen and all students on campus be vaccinated and receive their full 1 or 2 shot COVID vaccine before arrival. They have asked that once this is done, that you upload your result to your health portal. The health services will then inform us of everyone who has done this. And then hopefully by doing this, we will not have to continue our weekly COVID testing that we did throughout this past year. So again, if you have not gotten your COVID vaccines and you're planning to do so, please keep in mind that if you are a fall sport and you are getting the double dose vaccine, then there's 3 to 4 weeks in between. And with football coming in on August 8th, It's, you need to start planning on getting that done as soon as possible. All right, the next thing is the NCAA required medical paperwork. I sent a letter out earlier in the end of May, beginning of June, that touched on this. And in order to be cleared, and as for athletic activity here at the university, the NCAA requires that you turn in a physical exam that has been done by your physician 6 months prior to the start of your sport. This means at the college level that all of our sports are up and running in the fall. So by the time you get to campus, within a week or two of the start of the school year, your sport, even if it's a spring sport, will be up and running. So if you go back 6 months, if you have not had your physical from March or later, then you would have to get another physical exam. Again, these are not our rules, Bentley rules, but they are an NCAA rule that you have to do this. Okay, you can either fax or scan and email or snail mail, old-fashioned mail, that paperwork to us in the athletic training department. The address was in the letter that was sent, but it is also on the website. And that can be found at the Bentley Athletic website. If you were to click inside athletics tab, and then once you click that, there'll be a sports medicine tab, and all of our information will be there. Okay. Again, 6 months prior to the start of your sport is when the physical has to be done. This paperwork is totally separate than health services paperwork. Okay, so everything you do online, that's for health services. This you will have to print off, and then, like I said, either mail it to us, scan and email it to us, or fax it to us. Okay. Next thing, medical clearance. Okay, as part of the medical clearance, when you get to school, you will be followed up by the team physician. Team physician is an orthopedic physician. He will just review your medical history, check on any prior injuries or illnesses that you have had, and will be the last person to clear you to compete both both practice and compete in competition. And then lastly, we wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up on what the daily operations of the athletic training room would be when you first get to campus. So when you arrive to campus, if you are a fall athlete, that first day you will have your physical exam done by the team physician. You will have your concussion testing done. You will have all of your paperwork as far as medical paperwork and your paperwork with Katie Noons done. And at that point in time, you will be cleared to participate in your sport. Okay, so again, it's a lot of stuff that we sort of went through quickly, but as I said, that most of this stuff has been mentioned in the letter that was sent, as well as you can find it again on the website. And if you have any further questions, my email is at the bottom of the screen here. Feel free to email me, ask questions at the end, or you can even call me. I will be in the office. That's it.
Great. Thanks, Brooke. I think the message there is get your paperwork in, everybody. Get your paperwork in. And this is another reason why we're having this meeting June 21st. So it gives you time to get ready for the upcoming fall, for these fall sports. Next, Katie.
Yeah, thanks, Vaughn. So I'm going to go over just a few things regarding initial eligibility and what that means both athletically and academically, and then briefly discuss maintaining eligibility, and then talk about everyone's burning questions, which is academics, academic assistance, all of that good stuff. So first of all NCAA student athletes must be certified with the NCAA Eligibility Center. To begin, if you haven't registered with the Eligibility Center, please do this as soon as possible. The link is right on the screen, or you can go to ncaa.org and it will direct you to the Eligibility Center. Once you have registered with the Eligibility Center, you will be assigned a series of tasks, first being requesting your amateurism, submitting all of your high school transcripts, your final high school transcript, and proof of graduation. There is also a requirement to submit your ACT or SATs test scores. That's actually not required for those initially enrolling during the 21-22 academic year, which would be all of our new students. Due to the impact of COVID-19, the NCAA recognizes that testing was just not feasible for this past year. So there's no worries about not submitting those test scores. Your certification will still go through. You need to be certified by the NCAA, cleared in full in order to participate in practice, competition, and receive athletics aid. So again, if you haven't registered, that's the first step in getting the ball rolling. After you've completed all the tasks, amateurism, all of that good stuff, the NCAA will determine your athletic and your academic eligibility, which is essentially, determining whether or not you are able to participate in practice, competition, all that stuff. So certification differs on a couple of levels for Division I and Division II. Both of them, you need to pass 10 core courses by the start of your 7th semester. And for Division II, you need to maintain a 2.2 GPA in those courses. And for Division I, it's a 2.3 GPA for those courses. Let's see, moving on to maintaining your eligibility. Once you are enrolled at Bentley in your fall semester, it's important to maintain that you are at full-time status, which at Bentley is 12 credits or essentially 4 courses. Most of our student athletes tend to take about 15 credits or 5 courses. It tends to be a manageable workload, and it gives you a little bit of a buffer room as well if you decide to drop a course, but you do need to maintain full-time status in order to be able to practice, compete, and receive athletics aid. Outside of that, you also need to maintain progress toward degree, which is essentially a steady path toward graduation. Requirements tend to differ slightly between Division I and Division II, but overall you need to pass 9 credits in each semester and 24 credits for the entire academic year. Also, you need to maintain a 2.0 cumulative GPA and remain in good academic standing with Bentley, which is essentially a 2.0 GPA, full-time status. And as long as you're not under any type of academic probation or suspension, you are able to participate in practice. So lastly, I just wanted to touch quickly on academics here at Bentley and some support networks that we have just to ensure your academic success. So first of all, for fall course registration, which will be happening in, I believe, a couple of weeks, I just wanted to provide you with some dates to keep in mind throughout the summer. So there's going to be a couple of webinars for first-year students as well as transfer students that will take you through the registration process and course selection. And during those times, you'll be able to ask questions about the registration process, getting the courses in line that you're going to take for the fall. And those will all be happening over the next couple of weeks, and the dates are listed on the screen. For academic advising, I know we had a few people reach out with questions about academic support. Bentley has a really strong network of academic advisors, and our athletics department has a really great relationship with the advising team. They're all like really great people, very willing to help, especially for our new incoming students, freshmen, transfers. You'll all be assigned an academic coordinator in the form of your first year seminar and your transfer seminar professor. They'll be your advisor for the entire first year that you are on campus here to help you through the adjustment. That's the purpose of the course, is to help you with the adjustment to campus, and they'll also serve as your academic coordinator. As far as like routine academic assistance, again, I know we had some people reach out about tutoring options that are available to our student athletes, and we do have those. The athletics department issues an academic assistance program, which consists of weekly study table, tutoring, progress reporting, scheduling, registration, all different types of help, just to make sure that you are well supported in your time at Bentley. I really recommend the tutoring program. We have a really great group of peer tutors. Majority of them are student athletes who have taken the courses that you're all going to take during that time. They're all very willing to help, very accomplished individuals, and I really encourage you guys to be on the lookout for those emails when it comes time to start up study table and tutoring and stuff like that. So if you need any help, if you have any questions about all of that stuff, I know it's a lot of information to take in a very short amount of time, but I'm here to help with any questions that you could possibly have, and any type of assistance that you're going to need along the way. So feel free to reach out to me anytime.
Thanks, Katie. I think a couple things there is regards to paperwork. We need to get, you need to get your stuff in. The more proactive you can be with that, the less problems, and we can get to things at hand. As far as eligibility, obviously, we've had a great track record of our students doing well in the classroom this spring. Every sport was above a 3.0. I think this spring's GPA was 3.42. So we've got people around in the village that can help you. And that gets to the last thing I want to say. You need help. All you got to do is ask. You know, we're going to be meeting with you as freshmen. All of these people that talked about it besides sports medicine are going to be meeting with you as freshmen. Knowing sport administrators will be meeting with freshmen just to get to know you, but just ask. You need tutors, just ask. We can do those things. Your academic success and what you need is priority. And we take that seriously at Bentley. That's not just words, that is action and what we really do. And the people over that help us academic advising, they're servants and they're there to serve you. So please, please, please don't let anything stand in your way there.
If you have any questions at this time, you can type them into the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen, and we're more than happy to answer whatever we can at this time.
So we're done with the program, correct? So folks, we are done with the program. If you have questions, please put them in the box. I know we covered it all. I know there's no questions out there. I know you guys are summer night out there, nice weather. But if you have any questions, this will wait 2 minutes here. Up, one has popped up. I think somebody talked about paperwork, required NCAA paperwork to Mr. Ferry. Do we send our vaccination immunization? Hey, Brooks, do you see those Q&As?
Yeah, I can address all of them for you, Vaughn.
Okay.
So the first one, do we send our vaccination immunization paperwork with our other required NCAA medical paperwork to me? Send that stuff. All vaccinations will go up to health services. They need to have, including the vaccination for COVID. The reason for that is a state of Massachusetts requirement that they have that on file. So you can, if you want to send it, if it makes it easier for you to mail it in to me, I can put it in our office and send it to them. Or you can send it to them directly, whatever is easier for you. So again, but in the end, it will end up going to health services. Second question, just to confirm, the one-shot J&J is acceptable for COVID vaccination? Yes, it is. That is approved by state of Massachusetts and by NCAA. One-dose J&J is perfectly fine. And when our fall sports schedules finalized, that one I cannot answer. So I'll let someone else, whoever wants to answer that one.
We have the additional health form. You asked for that one, required by NCAA is not working. What should we do?
Do you have a special form submitting the physical info from the doctor? So if you go to the website, on the website, there'll be, again, if you go to the Bentley Athletic website, once you get there, if you click inside athletics tab, and then there'll be on the right-hand column, there'll be sports medicine. If you click that tab, there'll be a box in the middle of the screen that says pre-participation physical exam. When you click that, there'll be another box that says freshmen, transfer students, and tryout athletes. Once you click that, there'll be 3 forms. First form that you will see is a 6-page packet. That packet has everything from legal stuff that the school wants you to sign, emergency contact information, insurance information, medical history. That form, all you're going to do is you're going to put your student athlete's name, date of birth, and what year they're in on the first page. Our team doctor will fill out the first page and then complete the next 5 pages completely. The second form is a form that we say you can bring to your physician when you go to get your physical. Sometimes the physician's office will have their own form that they print out. We will accept that form from the physician's office. If they don't have one, then you can bring the form that we have posted there. And the third form is a sickle cell, which is a sickle cell waiver. The NCAA also requires that all athletes turn in either the test results of a sickle cell test, or if you do not have the test results, you can sign the waiver. Now, all of the student athletes who are coming in nowadays have all been tested when they were born. So your physician should have your original test results in your file. When you go to get your physical, you can ask them for a copy of that test. If they do not have it, you can either get the test, another test done, or you can sign the waiver. But that also is an NCAA requirement.
Great.
All of the forms for us are due. We ask to bring them in or have them sent in by July 31st. That gives us a full week to make sure we input all of this information into our system so that when the student athletes arrive on campus, we have all that information. And if anything shows up where we think there could be more information needed, that gives us time to contact you or gives you time to contact the doctor or whatever if it's requested.
You got a couple in there. You might want to type those out, man. You got an ACL post 4 months post ACL repair. Do you need extra paperwork?
So the nutritionist on hand to help the athletes. Nutritionist health services used to have a nutritionist on staff. Last 2 years ago, that position was not filled because they couldn't get anyone to fill the position. So they are still in the process of trying to get a nutritionist. We have access to nutritionists if a student athlete really needs to sit down and talk to someone as far as their nutritional needs. So we can update you further or update your particular athlete when they get to campus. If they have questions, we can see what the status is with health services. But as far as the athletic department itself, we do not have a sports nutritionist on our staff. Coming up 4 months post ACL repair with extra paperwork. Do I need to provide it? Yes, please provide that paperwork to us. The reason for this is we want to see where you are in your rehab process. If you're 4 months post-op, depending on your sport, more than likely your physician probably isn't going to clear you to return to your specific sport for at least a few to not several more months. But whatever information you can give us, we can take that rehab on from where you're at. We can continue with your rehab, the rehab process when you get to school, and that way you're not running around looking to drive off campus and look for rehab or do anything like that.
I'll give you rest, Brooks. Classes, talked about scheduled classes with the times of athletic practices.
Yeah, so ahead of every registration period, our office is in contact with academic advising and the registrar's office, and we provide a list of class times that practices normally take place. So for example, baseball may ask not to have classes be scheduled past 2 o'clock, in which case the academic advisor is notified, and when our athletes meet with their academic advisor, they're consulted and they explain the situation that, you know, you should look to avoid taking classes past 2 o'clock. So as far as scheduling, our academic advising team is very aware of our athletes' schedules, and they provide as much flexibility as they possibly can.
Great. Fall schedules, fall schedules almost finalized, correct, Marty?
Yeah, Vaughn, sorry, I apologize. A little technical difficulties with my camera, but this actually still picture hides the gray in my beard a little bit better. So I like seeing this picture more than my live face. But actually, we're finalizing fall sports schedules in the next week. The coaches are going to be turning those into me by Thursday. Then we're going to be going through them as a department with myself and Kevin and his marketing group to to make sure everything looks smooth as far as our yearly calendar goes. So those should be coming out within the next couple of weeks. I think we'll be looking to do, I don't want to, talk ahead of everything, but I think we'll be looking to do some schedule releases as a department very soon.
Great, great. What else? Courtney, do student athletes live with teammates?
Yeah, so some athletes, some student athletes do and some don't. We don't require that for housing. That is solely left up to the student themselves. I do know that in some situations, if you're still looking for a roommate or you would like to live with another student athlete, our coaches are constantly communicating with each other on that. So if you're looking to potentially room with another student athlete, I would recommend that you contact your coach directly, and they might be able to speak with another coach and partner you up with someone for that, but it is not required.
Great. I think those are most of the questions that we have.
There was one more, Vaughn, and this is asked a lot about. My son had a physical in late December. My insurance will not cover another one before then. Will that be an issue? Unfortunately, it is an issue. And again, like I said, it's an NCAA rule, and the rule states that athletes, before they participate in their sport, they have to turn in a physical within 6 months prior to the start of that sport. What I've told people to do in the past is call your insurance company and tell them, look, I understand that we're only allowed one a year. The physical was last December, which was actually done, would it be in 2020? It is 2021. He needs it in order to compete at college. Can we get an exception? Sometimes they will grant you that exception. If they don't, people have had to pay, whether they go to like a CVS or a Health Stop or something like that, and pay the $50 or $75 to get the physical. But unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. Like I said, it is an NCAA rule, and we keep everything on file in case they were to come in and say, we want proof of everything. So that's my suggestion as far as with that, in the insurance company.
Hey, Katie, can you see that one? Scheduling classes for our first semester?
Yeah, so as I said previously, new students will have a webinar where you will meet with advisors and pick your class schedule. I believe it's early July. Those webinars will be taking place for incoming freshmen as well as incoming transfer students. But you will be able to consult with an advisor ahead of choosing class schedules, and they are aware of the class blocks that we have in place for the fall 2021 semester. So if you have any issues though, feel free to contact me and I'll be happy to answer those questions.
Great, great. Which means I think academic advising has the schedules of our blocks of our sports, so they know exactly when football, when field hockey, when soccer's are practicing, and they're going to do their best to help you schedule around those things to get the things you need. So that's the kind of attention that you're going to get in regards to that. And the last question I think we have, do we have one? Would that be no? We answered all those questions. So in closing, and I forgot to mention, I also oversee baseball, but I don't want to leave baseball out there. Kevin Loftus would have got a little mad at me if I didn't say that. So this is the information. These are email addresses. This is the village, part of the village that's going to be assisting your coaches and everybody else to make sure that you get off to a great start. Like I said, there'll be a student athlete orientation, start of school, and you'll be meeting more of the village across campus, and you'll be meeting a lot of your comrades and other sports and so on and so forth. So our job is to serve, and our job is to make sure that you can have the experience that you desired to have when you came to Bentley, in the classroom, in your vocation search or career search, and on the field of play, your social life, your leadership, and all those type of things. And so we're committed to that. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm so excited to have, I can't wait to fall sports. I got that countdown going. And a lot of people on this call were college student athletes. And so I understand and I know. So we're trying to get to you, parents. If you have questions, just get them to us. Just get them to us so we can get back to you. We're here to serve and we're here to get it right. And we're excited that you've chosen Bentley as your next part of your journey as you move through your adulthood. And, we're going to do right and make sure that you have it front. So this is kind of how we work. We're open. We're going to have a little fun, but, we're going to be here and we're going to be present and we're going to serve. And so I want to thank all of you for your time tonight. Those of you that might be participating still in some high school playoffs somewhere, we know that's going on. Good luck. And those of you that are getting ready, make sure you get that paperwork, the dates, the calendar. We'll get those things out. And once again, go Falcons. And it's going to be an amazing fall of 21 with the energy that's coming back on campus, and you're part of that energy. So class of 2025, welcome. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you all from the athletic department for joining us today and for being a part of our new student athlete webinar. And also it's a pleasure to have the opportunity to connect with everyone and all of the new Bentley families and students who will be joining us in the fall. We're so looking forward to connecting with you more throughout the rest of the summer. And just as a reminder, this webinar will be recorded and it'll be up on our YouTube channel if there is anything you want to refer back to, or if you know anyone that had to miss tonight. And also, if you have any additional questions that come up, you can always send an email to orientation@bentley.edu and we'll get those questions answered for you. So thank you all very much and have a wonderful rest of your night.